August 25th, 2026. Open letter to President Trump from an MMTLP U.S. veteran. Dear President Trump, I come from generations of service. My grandfather was a pilot who flew in the South Pacific during World War II. My great uncle served as a captain in the Korean War. My father was military police in the Air Force during Vietnam. I have uncles and cousins who served as fire captains in the Air Force, Marines, and the Coast Guard. I followed that tradition myself as an Army medic during the pre-war buildup of the Gulf War and was honorably discharged after 6 years of service as a battalion aid station sergeant. Multiple generations and multiple branches of my family raised our right hands. We took the same oath. We stood ready to give everything for this country. We believed that the government we served would have our backs the same way we had theirs. I worked hard after I got out. I built a family. I saved. I invested carefully. Like thousands of other veterans, I put a significant part of my retirement savings into MMTLP. Why did I do that? I trusted the American system. I trusted the regulators. I trusted that the markets were fair. Then the government turned its back on us. I purchased Torchlight Energy in January of 2021. So as of this letter, I am 5.5 years into this situation. MMTLP was a dividend that never should have traded. It did anyway against the company's wishes. Despite official statements given the exact final trading day, FINRA issued a sudden U3 halt on December 9, 2022. They froze every investor's assets, including the shorts, and then deleted the ticker. International shareholders lost all confidence in U.S. markets. More shares were sold than the company ever issued. Veteran investments, retirements, and pensions have now been locked away for 1,355 days. It's nearly the length of a standard 4-year enlistment. Among us are at least 130 veterans, 60 of them disabled, 14 still serving on active duty, and Lieutenant Colonel Bradshaw, the Marine One pilot who flew Presidents Reagan and Bush. Roughly $12 million of veterans' investments still remain frozen. Almost 2,000 FOIAs filed with the SEC. Approval rate under 1%. Heavily redacted records pointing to show collusion between the FIF, the SEC, FINRA, and Wall Street. On December 22, 2023, 74 bipartisan members of Congress, led by Representatives Ralph Norman and Pete Sessions, demanded answers, but there was no follow-up and there was no resolution. Millions of our tax dollars have been spent trying to hide the share count. And what I'm about to say right now is underlined. You can't see it, but I have this underlined in bold. And this is what turns my stomach. My tax dollars are being used to defend the government against me knowing the share count of my own investment. That is how crazy this situation has become. We have had countless divorces, broken families, bankrupted small family businesses, healthcare concerned, and ruined lives. Houses can be replaced, cars can be replaced, things can be replaced, but life and time cannot. 3 years of ruined Christmases, missed birthdays, and opportunity cost, money that could have paid for better health care, sent kids to college, helped a loved one, helped a friend, are all gone forever. If a lieutenant colonel who flew Marine One under 2 presidents cannot get answers about the investments he made for himself and his family, then how can I? How can the veterans of MMTLP ever be made whole? I voted for President Trump 3 times. I am as MAGA as they come. But what am I supposed to think when his own company's stock, DJT, faces the same collusion and corruption? If he cannot fix the problems at his own house, how will he help us fix this? Failure to regulate U.S. security markets is not just a financial scandal. The loss of international confidence is a substantial national security risk. Mr. President, the letter is on your desk. Sign it. Demand the true audited aggregated share count. Release the FOIAs. Show the men and women who wore the uniform and the world that this government still has their backs. I'm still standing. We're still standing. Veterans don't quit. We adapt, we overcome, and we fight until the mission is complete. Share this message. Demand justice. Because if they can do that to those who served and looked the other way for 3.5 years, they can do it to anyone.